I am the world's youngest, most modified youth, at least for the moment. Different's cool, different's unique. More or less, I just kind of fell in love with the way it looks and how you feel when you walk down the street and you kind of get like a sense of empowerment. People like stop and they stare and they're like, whoa, look at that dude. And you're just like, hey, that's kind of neat. Next to me, besides more tattoos, is probably putting silicone in my dick. It's just putting silicone under the skin of your penis. I just like bumpy things under my skin, like they're just fun to play with. I like to be a standout kind of dude and draw some attention, turn some heads. A lot of people ask me how many tattoos on average I have. That question kind of irks me because once you start getting sleeves and linking your tattoos all up, there's no number of tattoos, it all just becomes one. I'd say my body is about 75%, maybe 80% tattooed. I'd say on average the amount of procedures I've had for body modification would be around like 40. A rough guess, like 15,000, maybe more than that, maybe. I'd say my body modification journey began when I was 11, when I first started stretching my ears. I got a lot of influence through like Aztec culture and stuff, through their scarification and stretching of the earlobes and whatnot. When I was there about 16 to 17, when I started getting more extreme stuff done. Attention from the opposite gender, I tend to get quite a fair bit of it, believe it or not, looking how I am. But yeah, I'm in a happy relationship.
I've always known him with a lot of tattoos and I've always been attracted to him with a lot of tattoos, so that's just Ethan to me.
My partner's very accepting of what I've done or do to myself. The one thing she hates though is when I get more face tattoos. But yeah, she's real chill about it.
My main thing is I don't like the stitches in his mouth just because I'm personally afraid of clown demons. But that's like my main thing I don't like.
And this needs a baby. I'm very little.
You're not that little.
I'm like 2 or 3 there.
Oh, I mean, you're very cute.
Thank you. And then...
yeah.
How
old are you here?
11-ish.
You're pretty cool.
Where were the tattoos though?
Who
that?
You're such a normal child.
I used to be quite attractive, classically handsome male, some might say, before I did all this work. So it wasn't for attention, I just dig it. I've always had different reactions from my relatives and friends and family and whatnot from different stages of modification. When I got my eyeballs tattooed, my mum couldn't look at me for like a month without getting tears in her eyes. They've just kind of learned that, oh, he's going to do it anyway, so there's no point in trying to stop it or resent him for it. Still the same person. Sometimes you get people walking past shaking their head, you know, being a bit condescending. Yeah. Sometimes, on the rare occasion, you'll get someone, you know, say something out loud that's not too nice or a bit rude. You realise when you look like this that there's going to be certain downsides and not everyone's going to treat you like how they should. We're about to head up to Rand's private studio and get my hair cut and tattoo my head. That'll be fun. I'm happy with my look, obviously, because I've done it to myself.
I don't have a limit on what he can and can't do. If he wants to get more procedures, cool. As long as they're aesthetically pleasing to me, I don't mind. In terms of my family, I think if you first bring a guy like Ethan home, people are a bit shocked.
What's going on, buddy?
How's it going?
Oh,
Let me give us a buddy.
But as far as like strangers and their opinions, I don't really care what they think about him or our relationship.
So this one here is a Black Dahlia. Of course, f***ing awesome. It's a really cool murder case to read up on. So I was like, yeah, let's get a tattoo. None with a pentagram carved into her forehead. Little signatures from a bunch of my artists who are friends. Nothing fills a gap for like a rose. Nah, I don't have any concerns. I'll be fine. It's a tattoo. I've had a few of them before.
So,
what we're doing is just going to draw it on, just the basics of it. It's a pretty simple sort of style of tattooing anyway, which will suit Ethan perfectly. We're going to do like a little Grim Reaper, little character, which is kind of like, I don't know if it's Ethan, but it's definitely childlike, so that's definitely Ethan-esque.
My most painful body modification procedure was probably my tongue split. Not so much the actual procedure itself, but the aftermath of about 7 days of just like torment of not being able to talk, not being able to eat or drink water for like 3 or 4 days, laying in bed, my mouth just smelling like absolute death from a rotting, healing tongue.
So we're going to start tattooing you. You ready? I don't know if he's really ready.
The most expensive body modification procedure that you can pretty much have done are your eyeballs, because it's such a high risk, high reward situation, because it can go wrong so easy and it can just send you blind. We're done. I'm quite tired. It's always a pleasure letting Rhiannon have a go at my head. But yeah, we're done. Yay. Next to me, besides more tattoos, is probably putting silicone in my dick. It's just putting silicone under the skin of your penis. I just like bumpy things under my skin, like they're just fun to play with. And eventually you're going to stop tattooing, modifying your body, because eventually you're going to run out of things to do. You're going to run out of space to get tattooed. Yeah, being different's cool. It's not nice to live your life in the shadows, so just kind of express yourself, 100%. Do your thing.